Things are getting better, my friends. Things are getting better with the housing market. Now, what do I mean by that? Some would hear that and think I meant the market was crashing. No, it was quite the opposite, as most of you know. We have been in the hottest housing market that we've seen in probably 15 or 16, 17 years, since 05, 04, with just so much, an incredible amount of housing demand. And it has been like that for several months. And we just went through a winter where we had the lowest inventory in history. We've never seen less to choose from. So we've had buyer demand up here, seller inventory down here. Well, all of a sudden, we notice it now. About 3-4 weeks ago, we noticed a little better. Sellers are here, buyers are here. This many buyers, this many sellers. So the amount of sellers lifted a little bit. The amount of buyers with each week goes down. So we're seeing a little bit of improvement. Now, we are obviously still in a seller's market, but it's improved. And that's why sellers should not get crazy with their pricing. I mentioned this in a video just a week or two ago. So what I want to do first is take you through some reports. Anthony Lamacchia here, broker owner of Lamacchia Realty. Right now, I'm going to cover Massachusetts and New Hampshire. And then at 3 o'clock, I'm going to be live on our Lamacchia Fort Lauderdale page talking about the South Florida housing market live. So I am doing 2 sets of updates today, and I'm excited to be here with you all. Now, let's move into looking at first what happened in the past. Let's jump over to our April housing report. And you can see here, by looking at this report, I'm going to scroll down a little bit, that home sales in April were obviously up dramatically, 35%, and home prices were up 15%. So prices are not artificially inflated because they have gone up that much. Now, remember, this is April compared to April. But is it fair to say that home prices are up an average of about 15%? Yes, it is. That's April to April, but it is true. Home sales being up 35%, that's somewhat of an exaggerated number. It's an accurate number, but it's exaggerated in a sense due to the lack of sales last year in April. So when you compare April to April, it looks like such a difference. Now you look at homes listed in April, you can see up every week over last April or early April when we were dealing with a significant market change. But I want to point something out here that happened in April. I somewhat just misstated that. Early April, the amount of homes listed per week actually went down a bit, and that was because of Easter and then school vacation. So that had an impact. We distinctly noticed that school vacation this year, because such an incredible amount of people went away, we noticed that it slowed the market a little bit. So that was very interesting. Homes listed up 91%, even though it was actually down in the first few weeks compared to 2 years ago. But compared to a year ago, when COVID was obviously rampant and everybody was concerned, it was up. So some very interesting numbers. Homes pending up 82%. I mean, these are very, very strong numbers. Now let's take a look at New Hampshire. New Hampshire sales up 16%. Now keep in mind, New Hampshire was not as badly as affected as Massachusetts last year in the initial phases of COVID. No doubt it was affected. No denying that at all. But it wasn't quite as dramatic as Massachusetts. And I think you can see that there in the numbers. Then you look at the average price. Average pricing up 19% in New Hampshire. This is significant, my friends. And I hate to come off like I'm rubbing it in, but I always point out that so many naysayers last April when COVID hit jumped on the bandwagon. Housing market's going to crash. This is going to be 08 times 3. I was convinced that wouldn't happen, and it did not happen. Here we are a year later. Market is dramatically stronger, and prices are up. We're in a frustrating time. The winter was a very frustrating time, but it's getting better. more and more homes have been getting listed, and each and every week the amount of buyers decreases a little bit. There are less buyers out there looking for homes than there were in February. Next week, there will be less than this week. This is something that happens every year, but it was exacerbated this year because of people being scared of where they were going to move to, and because of a lot of sellers thinking, well, I'm not so sure I want to list because of the changes with COVID. COVID increased in the winter. Now here I am today on May 28th, the day before changes with masks. That is going to have an impact on homes listed. There will be a lot more people that decide to list their homes in the weeks and months to come because they will be more comfortable that the virus has dissipated a bit because of mask mandates being lifted. That's good news. As more homes get listed, more homes will get listed. What does that mean? Some people hear that and think, what the hell is he talking about? What I'm explaining to you is the more homes that get listed, the more sellers that go, oh, I see that as a possibility. That is a possibility. Well, that one's sold, but I've been seeing more like that. The more sellers see and feel that they'll be able to find what they want, the more sellers that will have a willingness to list their properties. When more sellers list, more sellers list. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, this feeling in the market. And that's part of what's happened. Now, let's take a look at more recent data. I just showed you our April housing report. Now what I want to do is I want to go back there and I want to show you our mass real estate updates. Let me take a look and make sure what you are seeing is very clear. Okay, I'm going to jump back in. Look at homes listed. They've been up for the last 3 weeks. So in April, I told you it was odd. After Easter, we always see a week or two of less homes being listed, but it ended up going 3 weeks because of school vacation. Then it increased slight week over week, decrease early May, and it's been up ever since. This week here, I can tell you, will probably be flat. Going into a holiday weekend, you tend to see a few less people list, but the weather is going to slow down the impact of the holiday weekend. Now, what do I mean by that? That means it will actually speed up the busyness of the real estate market. Holiday weekends, especially in the summer months, especially when it's beautiful weather, have a tendency to slow down the real estate market, decrease the amount of market activity. And that's why I often recommend to buyers that they get out and see properties during the holiday weekend because they'll have less buyer competition. I do feel there'll be less buyer competition this weekend than last weekend, but it will be more than it would be if it was a beautiful sunny weekend. So if you're looking for a home, get out there and see homes. If you are a realtor who is frustrated by the lack of homes for sale or the incredible amount of competition, get out there and show your buyers properties if you can, because you will be happy that you did. Dory is asking, will this be posted later for us to watch again? Yes, this is live on Facebook, and this will live on this Lamakia Realty Facebook page forever, really. Let me jump back into the report. I got a little sidetracked. Take a look at the snapshot of homes for sale in Massachusetts each and every Saturday. Look at this. We are up to 8,000 homes for sale, folks. It is getting better. Back in the winter, we were 6,000, below 6,000 homes for sale. So there's no denying. No one can deny it. No one can say anything now and argue with me as some did 2 months ago when I said it will get better. Now you can't. The proof's in the numbers are showing. Look at this, 3,952 single-family homes for sale as of last Saturday. I can tell you that this Saturday, tomorrow, it will be more than that. Homes pending per week. Look at these pending statistics. They are strong. Over 2,500 a week. Last week was closer to 2,000. But every single week in Massachusetts, that amount of properties are going pending. That does not include off-market sales. I want to point that out. Does not include off-market sales. So that means there is more like 3,000 properties a month going under contract. A week. I can tell you we're seeing that in our own company. We're seeing more off-market sales than we've ever seen. Sold statistics are running strong. They're going to have some big months. May will be bigger than last May, obviously, just like April was. Take a look here. Amount of pending properties per week versus total inventory. Percentage of properties pending, dramatically bigger than historical norms. We're talking 30+% of properties going under contract per week. Look at 2 years ago at this time, 2019. We were at 15%. It's just crazy to think how much is going pending. Home prices, look at this. Anyone who bought in the last 2 years, you should be smiling. Average sale price in Massachusetts, $554,000. I remember when it hit 400 in 2005, and then it went down and it hit it again in 2013 or 14 or 15, around there. Everybody couldn't believe it. Now we're at 554. Now let's look at some data statewide. You can see the market is up dramatically for April and May compared to last April and May. Look at these numbers. Homes listed May month to date, 22% up, 21% with pendings. Homes sold, 31% up. These are significant numbers. And it's going to add to why we're going to have so many home sales this year. You go back to 19, we're still down a bit. That's because how incredibly late the season was this year with homes listed. That will get better. Now let's take a peek at New Hampshire. Want to make sure you all can see it. Homes listed per week in New Hampshire. Look at this. Each and every week for the last 4 weeks has been up, up, up. Nearly, I wouldn't say 800, but well over 700 homes listed for sale last week just in New Hampshire. That's a big number, and it's obviously well above where we were in 2020. I mean, really, each week we've been above that. Homes pending per week. Look at this. Pendings were way down last year in April. Into May, it came up. Now we are even slightly below last year for pendings. But that's not shocking because, as I said, New Hampshire did not get as badly affected as Massachusetts. Remember last year, we all couldn't wait till May 20th. That was the golden date that everything was going to open. Here we are a year later, and masks are finally going away on May 28th. It's good news. Or for the most part, those have been vaccinated. You look here, homes sold, going strong. Average prices, close to $400,000 in New Hampshire. Imagine that. When it crosses that mark officially, that will be a historic time, my friends. It will be truly historic. So, a couple things that I want to note for home sellers. Even though tomorrow, government, CDC, and our governor here in Massachusetts, Governor Baker, is saying, okay, if you've been vaccinated, you don't need to wear a mask. Well, I'm here to tell you that I'm happy about that. But if you are a home seller and you would like to list your home and you want people to wear a mask in your home, the folks at LaMacchia Realty will make that happen. We will do everything in our power to ensure that whoever shows your home wears a mask. Whatever buyers come through your home, wear a mask, if that's what you wish. Now, there are some sellers who have the other school of thought. Stop being so, tough on everybody. They don't need to wear a mask if they've been vaccinated. Very tough to be the vaccination police. So we will not be wading into those waters. But I will tell you that if it is your wish as a home seller to have our realtors ensure that masks are worn in your home, we will do that. We will work to make sure that happens, because your request and your wish is essentially our command. It is our job to keep your home safe and to put it back into a state that you want it in, or maintain a state that you want it in when you turn the home over to us to list it. And I can promise you, straight from me, the owner of LaMacchia Realty, that we will make sure that is taken seriously. If you don't care, wonderful. If you do care, wonderful. Have those discussions with our realtors. and we'll make sure to keep your home safe. That is all, my friends. I wanted to go over this real estate update. I see Josh asking a question. I'll answer that. Is there an average time on how long homes last in the market in Massachusetts? I might miss that. Josh, it has been somewhere between 6 and 8 hours, being a little bit dramatic, but it has been a matter of days for homes that are priced right. Josh just reminded me of something. Sellers, don't get crazy. Now you have more competition. I did a video on this just about 10 days ago. Do not get crazy and overprice the price of your home. Don't do that. You will regret it. But homes that are priced right, Josh, have been selling in under a week. Glad you got a kick out of that. Thank you. Thank you, Dawn. Anyone else have questions? Let me see. I'm in StreamYard, so not every question comes through the comments. That's all, my friends. I will be back to see you in June. I will tell you now, the market will be better. It will be better for buyers. And I will be back at 3 o'clock on our Fort Lauderdale page to talk about the Florida housing market. Going to go over some interesting things, some astounding statistics, really amazing data that I'm going to go over. See you at 3 o'clock, my friends. Thank you.